So today, Nienke and I will be talking about personal branding. I think the story of Nienke is really unique, and maybe people who are watching from Brazil, they know Nienke, and it's a famous. She's a famous person in Brazil. So Nienke, maybe you can tell a bit what happened 7 years ago and why people in Brazil know you.
So I've been making YouTube videos for over 10 years, and I've always done it for fun. So in 2016, I made a format which was trying to speak, which was me trying to speak in different languages. And the Portuguese one blew up. I did not know they spoke Portuguese in Brazil. So that was not my intent at all. But they do, and I didn't know. So it exploded. I went viral on Facebook. Then they searched for me on YouTube and they found me, and the ball kept rolling from there.
So you went viral on Facebook first?
Yes. They made a little meme of my video, and they put like a text which was like gringa tentando falar português, which means a gringa trying to speak Portuguese. It was kind of like a meme, and it was very funny. So they put it on Facebook, and I think it has like 30 million views over there. So that's how they found
becoming
me.
A meme. That's cool.
Yeah? It is.
So now you have like 3 million followers on YouTube?
Yes, several millions on different platforms.
Yeah, and back then, Facebook, it was another time, and YouTube, there weren't that much of creators on YouTube yet.
Exactly.
But you switched to YouTube, you focused on YouTube since then, or?
This was in 2016, so that was like in the beginning of Instagram, kind of.
Yeah.
So my main content was always on YouTube, but YouTube is kind of strict regarding their copyright issues. The creativity was kind of lost there, and then came Instagram with the Reels and the Instagram TV, and that's how I kind of switched from those platforms, because I feel like those platforms gave me a little bit more creativity freedom. And I remember people being so mad when Instagram announced their video. People were like, "Oh, this is a photo platform and it's not like YouTube," and people were very. Do you remember?
I can remember.
Oh, people were so mad. It was like boycott.
Chill out. I built my brand mainly on LinkedIn. Right now, I try to post on different channels because I'm aware that once LinkedIn kills the reach organically, like Facebook did several years ago, that could be a problem. So I've created my own website. I also post on Instagram threads.
Nice. Weren't you like one of the first ones on LinkedIn? Because I feel like in like 2 years, maybe after COVID, it started becoming like a thing to post on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I created my account when I was at high school. It was back in 2007.
On LinkedIn?
Yeah, but I always was a lurker, so I didn't create any content. I only started sharing content since 2017. And yeah, I just felt the need to share what I've learned professionally, and get feedback from other peers, because it allowed me to grow, because people start asking questions. You don't have the answers to all questions, so you need to go more in depth. I got more into meta marketing and Facebook. I remember they released certifications. So I was one of the first 3 people who did the Facebook exam, and I passed.
Wow!
Now today we are talking about personal branding. It's interesting because we have 2 very different brands.
Yes.
But actually, it's the same principle.
It
is.
I
think we have some questions to answer. And I know a lot of people are aiming to go viral, but in a lot of cases, I think it shouldn't be the goal. If you're focusing on gaining too much, a lot of followers in a short time, there's a risk of attracting the wrong followers.
Yes.
For example, I saw someone from a company on TikTok. He created a TikTok account, but he didn't share any post yet. And then he shared a video of a 3D billboard in London. People started liking. I think it received 5 million likes in 24 hours.
Wow.
And that person gained about 10,000 followers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He now got 10,000 followers, but all these people weren't interested in his offering or his business. So if he now posts something about his business, people don't react because they don't care about it.
Yep. I think that's what's kind of going on right now with influencers. We have a lot of influencers because people know how to create good content. And once you go viral, you gain a lot of followers. You don't know how to convert to that audience yet because they're not attracted to your content or to you as a person. You don't have any personal brand yet. So, and I feel like that's where it goes wrong for a lot of companies who invest in very expensive influencers who don't have that personal connection.
Yeah, the next question is why should you build a personal brand? It allows me to attract new opportunities.
Yeah.
So I get invited to speaking gigs, podcasts.
Oh, cool. Isn't that what makes it hard sometimes? Because like when I post something on my LinkedIn, it's for me. I know you because I used to work in an agency and we all used to follow you in marketing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And that's what we like use for inspiration, for new updates and stuff like that. How does that work for you?
If you gain a lot of followers through your expertise, you're building something. So people trust you. If I would directly start selling my courses, nobody would buy them. But if you keep showing up in the feed consistently for 5 years or 10 years, and then you're selling something, people will probably buy because they know what you're talking about. They know your expertise.
They trust you. Yeah.
Sometimes people ask me, what does your boss think about you?
That's
posting?
A good question.
Because can he trust you? Because maybe you're getting all the leads without him knowing. So I think I'm lucky to work for a company where I get the freedom to do that. And they support me in it. And,
that's nice. But it's something that I've seen other companies try to do. And I feel like that it's kind of hard for companies to make people do that for them. Like, I feel like agencies always would love a Bram in their company, you know, someone who is working for them, showing expertise, and that way promote their services. And I feel like that's a big gain for Edge.
I think so too, and my boss too.
That's good.
I'm lucky.
How do you feel about, I feel like, you know, LinkedIn is always, for me, I like posting on social media, but LinkedIn is always a little, not scary, but I'm always a little nervous to post on LinkedIn because there's so many professionals. There's a lot of feedback. So how do you handle that? Because social media can be mean, but it will be about your appearance or what you said or what you look like or what they think of you. But this is something about, you know, intelligence and knowledge and your expertise. If you have like negative feedback, how do you cope with that?
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people that they, especially on LinkedIn, they don't dare to post because they are worried about people commenting that you're wrong. But you can build the confidence because if you really know what you're talking about, you shouldn't be worried about people commenting because you can always answer. If you don't know what you're talking about and you just start posting random thoughts, then you can expect some negative feedback. What I started doing about, I think 2 years after I started actively posting on LinkedIn was putting my face on each post. People didn't understand why. People sent me messages about why do you put your face on each post.
Okay.
Is it because others can't copy it? Still, people copy my post, and what they are doing is they just put their own face. That's okay, but for me, it's not about copying, trying to prevent people from copying my post. It's rather the visible element that always keeps returning.
Okay.
So
recognition, nice. The post.
Yeah, I believe that when people scroll, they see my face. They relate it to a piece of content that has some kind of value.
Nice.
But for that to work, you have to keep appearing for several years.
That's a really good tip, honestly. I do that. I stop. I watch. And I read the post.
But that's good to hear because it's a personal assumption, of course, because I can't I don't have the real statistics.
The market research.
And another thing I started doing is it was I guess also 2 years back I started ending each post with a signature. Hi, I'm Bram. I'm a digital marketeer. If you're interested in digital marketing, follow my post because I share content. That worked too because I saw the number of followers growing
Cool.
ever since. And now if I look at a lot of posts, many people are doing
That's
it.
true. It's a trend.
I think I started.
Awesome!
No matter the format you're using, if you're sharing something valuable,
Yeah.
it will get people to read it.
Yeah, I believe so too. And I feel like sometimes it's what companies are missing because people come to me and they want me to work with them, which is awesome. But I always tell them, like, I don't have gold on my hands. It's like, it's the content.
Yeah.
It has to be good and interesting enough for people to follow you. It's not just a stock photo or showing your services in like a carousel. It's not interesting enough. It needs to be really good content for people before they even follow you.
There is one thing that's actually a reality is when you post an external link, you're killing the reach.
Really? On LinkedIn?
On LinkedIn, yeah. So that's why most people just put a link in the comments.
Oh, that's why.
And it worked, but I guess LinkedIn changed it. So now they are also scanning the comments for links. And how can you differentiate your personal brand from others? Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, I do have.
What makes you unique?
Yes, I do have an idea about it. I feel like if you as a company would want to work with personal branding, you'll have to work with someone who enjoys and likes being in front of a camera. I feel like that's one of the main things, because if you're gonna have someone do it just because you need a face, it's not gonna work. You need someone who who knows how to talk to a camera, who knows how to make an interesting edit. And I've seen it on TikTok. Like, TikTok is killing it. I feel like, especially companies, maybe, I don't know if it's a trend, but in Australia, I see a lot of social media marketers using their face and making personal videos on a company TikTok page. Like, talking about stuff, talking to the clients, talking to the followers, you know. And I feel like a lot of companies are not there yet, which is fine. You know, but today I saw a TikTok of a girl and she did that. Like, she was in her robe talking. She's like, well, my boss doesn't know that I'm in my robe. But anyway, and it was so, and people were commenting, and she had like almost 100,000 followers in a month. So
yeah, it makes it more human and relatable.
Yes,
so
especially,
there's a lot of truth.
Yeah, and I feel like the videos where you say like, oh, these are 3 tips to, you know, it needs to be different than that. It needs to be more storytelling. Get a face. That's all I think is great to do.
Yeah, and making it more personal and relatable.
Yeah,
and in my case, I think you need to have a unique perception on things, on certain topics.
Right.
And don't let others influence your own opinion.
Right.
Very important.
Yeah.
And it's kind of difficult because it's easy to get influenced by others.
Yes.
But if you just stay true to yourself and what you think is important, and just stay consistent, keep focusing on what you think is important, and the value you want to spread. I think that's the way to go, and that's also how you can stand out from the crowd.
Yeah.
Because especially on LinkedIn, there are a lot of people who start actively sharing. So there are more people on LinkedIn than it used to be 5 years ago. So there's a lot of competition for the content. There's also a lot of content that's just the same, but in different words.
Yeah.
So you really need to stand out with a unique perception.
That's true. And I feel like sometimes on LinkedIn, I kind of miss a unique point of view, because especially from social media marketers, which is, it's not an attack or to anything, but I feel like sometimes I read the same posts everywhere, you know, with the same tips, with the same stuff, so it doesn't make it unique.
And sometimes people just they want people to react, so they are changing the content of the post just to make people react, and that's also not the way to go.
I agree.
Course, because you're just looking for reactions.
Yes, and that's the wrong crowd in the first place. That's not how you're building a brand at all. And I've seen it a lot, like people talking about controversial stuff on LinkedIn.
Controversial. I think it's related to the next question about how important personal branding in 2024 is exactly, because I think, more and more people are sharing content.
Yes.
So why is personal branding important? I think it's just becoming much more difficult.
Yeah, I agree, but I think also to a certain extent that the platforms are changing that way too. They're changing their algorithms based on personal branding.
Yeah, and they really encourage you to go interact with each other. And they are really forcing almost people to go into dialogue with each other, have a conversation. Because each time you comment on another post or you reply to another comment, it gets more reach. True. So they are really pushing towards sharing and interaction. Yeah. It's kind of a good thing, but what I'm seeing right now is that people are using AI to reply. So they scan the posts and they go to ChatGPT or other AI tools. They ask ChatGPT to create a reply. So all these replies are kind of easy to recognize because they just summarize what's in your post, and they end by asking a question. But it's not, most of the time it's just.
Oh my god! I did not know that.
Yeah, and it's kind of annoying because they hope to get more exposure by commenting a lot. And if you take a look at people who use AI for commenting, if you go to their profile and you check the recent reactions on other posts, you just see a lot of list of replies, and they are all kind of the same. Yeah. So what do you do with this kind of evolution and comments? Do you ignore them? Should you delete them?
That's a good question. And I feel like that's why influencers are so successful, because they've been doing this for years. You know, what people are doing right now, they've been doing this for years, and they did not use ChatGPT or AI to create a bond with their audience. So...
And again, it comes down to the wrong goals of getting as much followers as possible in a short term of time. I once did an experiment for my company to gain 2,000 followers on Instagram as an experiment within 2 weeks, starting from zero. So what I did was every time I was on the bus to my company, or I was on the toilet. I just started scrolling and commenting and reacting on Instagram on other posts about 4 hours a day.
4
and
hours?
I succeeded. I gained 2,000 followers in 2 weeks just by commenting and liking other posts. The moment I stopped doing that, because it was just an experiment, I didn't care about the followers. So I stopped doing that after 2 weeks, and the followers just dropped.
There they go. Yeah.
Don't focus on the
No, maybe you've seen the trend, which is Brazilian marketing, where they use a funny video and then someone falls and they were like, let me hire you for my company and stuff like that. It comes from Brazil because Brazil is known for viral content. And creators come and go. Like, it is just like this the entire time. It's a very viral country. They're very influenced very fast, but it goes by like this. You know, so that's what you see all the time, people coming and going, and then getting a lot of followers, losing a lot of followers, and then again and again, you can do it all over again.
You went viral and it changed your life because you've got a lot of opportunities, and you've worked with really big brands, so that's really cool. But you need to have a goal.
Right.
So how many followers can bring that much of opportunities, or what is the goal of having
and I feel like now it's kind of different, because when I went viral in 2016, there were not a lot of people with 1 million followers. Like, it was unique. Even having 10,000 followers on Instagram was like, oh my god, you know. Now it's normal. People buy, or people just go viral, or people just know how to make really good, you know. You have influencers everywhere, but at the time it was very unique to have that following. So I feel like as an influencer now, it is not as much as rewarding as it used to be, because I used to have a lot of followers. I worked with amazing brands. They paid really good money. I traveled all over Brazil. I went to shows for free. I went on TV shows. It was such a different experience then. And I feel like, if you have 1 million followers now, it's kind of, there's more people on the market, and I feel like brands are especially looking for the smaller influencers because they have a niche like you.
And this is, I think, where we emerge,
Right.
because we are unique for other reasons than the amount of
Exactly.
followers. Because we do things differently than
True.
others.
That's true. And I shared one of my things that I used to do, learning Portuguese. That was my content pillar. I showed the Portuguese lessons that I took. I traveled all over Brazil, and that was a format that they did not know yet. And there's so many people traveling in Brazil and doing the same stuff, and I feel like, it's nice. I mean, Brazil gets the attention that they deserve because it's an amazing country. It's always been kind of put in the background, I feel like. A lot of people don't know about Brazil, or they don't want to go there, or, so it finally goes... It shows finally the world that how awesome it is, and the people, and the things you can do, and the food, and I can go on forever. So I'm all happy about it, but it's, it's,
of course.
They've seen it, so now and it's fine for me. It's totally fine.
It's a really cool story, because I was really excited talking to you, because the story is so unique, and it's also for me kind of nostalgic, because it was 7 years ago.
Yep.
And 10 years ago, I was also exploring YouTube, and it was a whole different platform than what it is right now. And I'm feeling kind of nostalgic.
Me too.
About it.
We both started at around the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And I saw your video about your first 100K followers. You received a YouTube. You were so happy, and it was these are the good old times.
And it was so special, and my friends, and I still have the big plaque, the 1 million plaque. It's in my living room. You walk in and you can see it.
Do they still send it for 1 million followers, or do you need to have 10 million now?
That's a good question. I don't know, because I feel like if 1 million, I don't think they do it anymore. Do they? I don't know.
No.
I have no idea. I have both. I have the silver one and the golden one, so I'm fine.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, really? And the silver is 100K. Yeah.
I even got a letter from the YouTube CEO at the time. Yes.
Really? You can't imagine that they are still
I
doing
know.
that.
No, I don't think so.
Very
cool. It's great. And even I remember this was in 2017, I was in the top 10 fastest growing YouTubers in the world.
Really? Okay.
In the world.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's kind of impossible.
I know. Right now it's not possible.
Unless you're a movie star.
Or Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast. Yeah. Do you think the first AI avatar influencer will get 10 million followers on YouTube? Or maybe there is already
I think.
one.
Do they have 1 million already?
I think on Instagram there's a person, an AI avatar. So I worked with a lot of big brands, and it's kind of crazy because she's promoting and using products from that brand, but it's all AI generated.
So the message behind it is kind of empty.
But people seem to like it.
Well, I think it's because it's new. It's new, it's different.
Maybe one last question about how big companies can add personal branding to their strategy. It's all about the people, B2B. You're not talking to businesses, you're talking to people. And if you can allow your employees to become brand ambassadors, you just have to leave them have their own opinions and just
back off a little bit. I agree. That's, I feel like if someone doesn't agree and then they want to mingle in the content and how you're going to produce it, I feel like you should let your employees, especially Gen Z employees, do whatever they want to do because they know. Thank you, Bram, for this chat. I think it was very interesting to talk about personal branding on your side, but also on my side, which are used in 2 different platforms. Or multiple different platforms. And thank you guys all for watching on LinkedIn, on YouTube, wherever you're watching. And hope you have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.